All right, so if you're editing your podcast and you're doing it in Premiere Pro, I want to show you some really cool tools to really just streamline your entire workflow and to speed up your process. All right, so first and foremost, you should be using a high quality video podcast recorder like Riverside. I'm not endorsed by Riverside, I just love the product so much. If you go to riverside.fm, well, you can just sign up for it. Mine's already logged in because I already have it. So you'd go here and then you can record all your videos in here. It'll walk you right through. It's a pretty straightforward process. So I have a project here that I've been working on called Ask an Expert. And this is where I've been interviewing other experts in other industries, really short podcasts. And what we're going to do is pull down these podcasts. Now, here's the cool thing about Riverside. And I'll open this up for you. You can see here I have about 12 or so interviews. So what happens here is that we go in, let's say we go in and we want to pick, let's pick Josh. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get Josh. We're actually going to pull down, what's the cool thing about Riverside is that instead of like a Zoom call where it records whatever it wants to, whether you're side by side or if it switches cameras back and forth, you have no flexibility in the edit. Now with this, you do. So with Zoom, what it typically does is just records what it records. If you're talking, it'll flip to you. If you're not talking, it'll flip to the person, or it does it side by side the entire time. Usually does it in a small 360 by 640 frame, so it's super small, or 720. This one right here will record in full 1080p 4K if you have the right equipment and a fast enough internet. I usually just stick with 720 or 1080, depending on what day it is. And what it will do is record high quality video on both sides. So whoever you're interviewing, it'll record onto their hard drive in the background or into some magic booth on Google Chrome, and then in the background it'll keep uploading that high quality video. Same thing goes for my end of the interview as well. So if you can see here, I have Josh's interview here and my interview there. Two different things. So for Premiere, what you can actually do, you can actually click on this button up here, and it works. It's not perfect, so if you need to, you can go down and just download all these different tracks. But what I do is you can go here, Adobe Premiere, and then click on the tracks that you want. You want all the WAV files, you want the markers if you have markers, and then hit Export Now. And what that does is it's going to generate a timeline in the background. So while that's generating, what you can do, if you want to, just to have a backup, you can actually download these things. You can download, I just want to show you these things while we're waiting on this to happen. You can download the raw synced video on my end, which is this camera. You can see me, Cameron. You can see Josh here. You can download his raw synced video too with his audio. You can download all that, or you're just going to wait for this to happen. And while it's going, it's still generating, so we're going to keep going. And another thing you do is, what I like to do is generate one with all the participants, so that's both of us together. So we'll go to Export. Let me slow that down for you. So what we'll do is we can hit on this button, high quality, go to Export 1080p grid. You can do 4K grid as well. 1080p is probably fine. I like to normalize the audio because why not have a machine do that for you instead of you having to do it? Remove background noise, same thing. Why not have a machine do it for you instead of you doing it yourself? And that's really what it comes down to. This whole entire thing is about having a machine, artificial intelligence, whatever you want to call it, something to help you speed up your process is what we're going to do, because we're all about just getting the content out there, right? And then we're going to hit, so we can see here the entire one. You see me and him are together. It's not perfect, but it'd be a good thing to cut away to. I actually don't like all that stuff in the background, or if I do, I'd like to do it. Rounded corners are nice, but also I want to change the background to nothing, so black, right? Or I'll keep it at black. Or you can do this sort of thing where it comes together. So here's what we're going to do there. And then we're going to go up to Export and hit Export. And so what that's going to do is going to do some stuff in the background. You go back to Dashboard, and it'll be exporting it in the background. It'll be kind of making this video in the background. So what we're going to do now is just kind of wait for it to do its thing, and then we'll start downloading. All right, so it looks like our Premiere Pro project is ready to download. So we'll go to Adobe Premiere. We'll go to Premiere Export up here, Adobe Premiere Pro, and hit Download Timeline, and it'll download the entire project for you. We'll be ready to go, and then we can import it into Premiere Pro. And I'll also wait for this full length right here to download, to export as well. I'll download that as well and sync it up as well into the timeline. All right, now so everything's downloaded, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring it into Premiere Pro. So I downloaded my projects. I actually put it into my interviews here. You can see all that. And I'm just going to drag and drop the entire folder into Premiere Pro. And there you have it. Obviously, I haven't done the other two yet, but this is just for example's sake. And here is the export. And here you see here is the timeline. So that is the XML. It made a timeline for us. So we're going to just double click on the timeline. And as you can see here, everything is in sync. Well, we'll see if it's in sync. This is supposed to be in sync. For some reason, the audio wave files is not playing friendly with it, so I'm not even going to fight that. I'm just going to knock these up here, and then we're going to roll with that. Oops, I didn't want all that. Knock these up a little bit, roll with all that. And so everything should be in sync now.
Just rearranging a few things here.
All right, so this is all the flub at the beginning, right?
Just rolling with.
Technology is great when it works, right?
Yes, adapting.
So all this is kind of flub up here. So what I'm going to do is actually, this is a good thing for when we get to it later. We want to cut the beginning off here and make sure it all lines up. Make sure we have a clean cut at the beginning. And you want the same thing at the end too. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this, delete it, and make sure it butts up right up against the beginning of the timeline. Now, so we want to sort of stop this normal broadcast. I'm going to show you what we're about to do. Go to autopod.fm. Okay, that didn't work. Go to autopod.fm. And this is the thing we're going to use today. And it actually will create cuts for you in real time, not in real time, faster than real time, to cut up your video podcasts. And so get on there, download this. If you want to do this with me or whatever, this is great. I'm about to show you how it works, but it's autopod.fm. This is the tool that I'm going to be using. All right, back to our broadcast. So here it is. I have the Autopod. So what you can do, let me actually close this down and go from the beginning. So you're going to go to Window. Once you get it all installed and everything, you can go to Window, Extensions, Autopod Multi-Camera Editor. And it'll take a while for it to pop up, and you'll have a key to generate and everything. And so here's where you kind of play with the panel, right? So in this panel, we have, this is like presets. I haven't gotten to presets yet, so we can work with that later. I might do something down the road for that. We want cutting method to be standard, not enable delete, unless you want to do enable delete, which will keep the tracks there if you want to keep that. Shot frequency, I'm going to go high. I've tried medium before. Sometimes it's a little too slow. I'm going to go high. And speaker, we have 2 speakers. It detected that we have 2 speakers. Cameras, it detected we have 2 cameras. You have more than that. You want to, do that for every track. So for the first track we have, who is on the first track?
Thing to do.
Looks like it's me. So Cameron. And the second track is going to be Josh. And make sure we assign that to the video tracks as well. So I am actually on track 1, Cameron, and he is on track 2, Josh. And then what you can do also to make it all speakers, I'm actually going to duplicate this. I'm going to nest this together. Call it both cameras. You can also download it from Riverside as well. I'm going to do it this way because I found that sometimes Riverside doesn't sync very well and they have some syncing issues, but this kind of helps negate that. So both cameras. And then within this, I'm going to double click on it, and then I'm going to just shrink this down, go to effects. Oh, no, it's not effects. We want to go to the effects panel. And we want to just kind of move it over and make it like a side-by-side video, right? And we'll kind of go to effects, crop. We'll crop the left side. And then on my side, we will crop. We'll kind of do it like that, and it's not perfect. I'm just going to do this down and dirty for the sake of speed. Now we want to go in and rearrange some settings. We officially have 3 video channels now. So I'm going to click on, 3 video cameras, and then we want to assign the video 3 to all speakers. So we have V1 as Cameron, V2 as Josh, and V3 as all speakers. And again, here at the end, you want to make sure everything is flat and aligned. And we want to make a clean cut right here at the end to make sure all the tracks are the same length, or otherwise Autopod will not let you use it. Now they're all the same length, and we're going to create multicam edit. Now just sit back and watch things happen. It's like it's still going. There it goes. It's starting to cut away, which is really cool. I'm gonna make it bigger for you. I'm not sure why I have it so small. I also don't want to confuse things. But there you have it. It is cutting away based on the audio, based on what's some movement, some other magic tricks. And yeah, we're gonna see it do some good stuff here. So this is a, what, 20-minute interview, 30-minute interview, and I'm just basically cutting off 30 minutes of watching it in real time by doing this. Phenomenal, phenomenal. It just saves me so much time doing all this. I have like 12 more of these things I need to edit in the next couple weeks, and this is gonna save me loads of time. So I might go in and you know, switch some of these shots up a little bit. Especially at the beginning, I might do more of the 2 shots, right? And then cut back and forth just to kind of give it more of an establishing flow. But other than that, it has saved me lots of time. I don't have to go and nitpick every single shot. I can just go in and trim the fat, as they say. So go check out Autopod. I highly recommend it. And start utilizing these tools to speed up your workflow, save you a few bucks, save you some time, which is the most important thing. So check it out. It's a monthly fee. And they're doing some really cool stuff right now. So I plan on having more tutorials in the future. So please like, subscribe. I'm gonna have some more tips on how to speed up your workflow if you're creating video podcast in the future.